There have been 30 losses of tourists in Medellin, Colombia so far this year. In this video, I want you to hear directly from the Secretary of Security, Manuel Villa Mejía. Let's jump into the video. Follow along.
You're watching dcbornrob, Erasing Borders. And now, news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching dcbornrob, Erasing Borders. Again, this video, I want you to hear directly from the Secretary of Security in English. I'm using AI to translate it from Spanish to English because I think it's important that you hear directly from him in his voice, as a matter of fact, as well. But before I jump into that, remember, for everybody who takes a second and go down and hit like,
Cool man said, you all right.
That's right. Thank you guys so much. Let's jump into this story right away. It's a brief story. You'll see him in the background. Then I'm going to play his video in English. Now this story was a couple of days ago, so it says there's 29. But we recognize that there are 30 losses of foreign tourists in Medellin. Half are Americans. The ombudsman reports various causes from self-inflicted and overdoses to homicides and accidents. Of course, this video and a few other videos when I touch on this subject have to be slightly sanitized. So some of the words have been replaced. You can probably pick it up. The city of Medellin continues to raise alarm bells over the losses of foreign tourists. So far this year, 30 cases have been registered according to the Personería. The latest case occurred last Thursday, June 20th, when an American citizen identified as M. Watson, 25, was found deceased in a hotel room in El Poblado. Watson's passing joins the 29 that have become a growing problem in the city. According to the Ombudsman's office, last year, 2023, there were 37 cases of violent passings of foreigners in the capital of Antioquia. Foreign tourist deletions in 2024. The Secretary of Security and Coexistence, Manuel Villa Mejía, indicated that there has only been one homicide of a foreigner, and that was during a fight. Here's the breakdown according to him. Losses in different circumstances. 5 cases were self-inflicted. 13 cases still being investigated due to health problems. 6 cases of overdoses of hallucinogenic substances. 1 case was an accident. 3 cases are yet to be established. The Medellin mayor's office continues with strategies and the fight against the structures behind the dynamics that affect citizens and tourists. During the first semester, we managed to capture 3 people who were involved in a criminal network which allegedly dedicated itself to drugging and robbing tourists through digital platforms, said Secretary Villa. It should be remembered that this 2024, a woman was sentenced to 20 years in prison for being responsible for murdering an American in a hotel in El Poblado, an event that occurred in November of last year. The mayor of Medellin, Federico Gutierrez, launched a campaign against exploitation of minors after the cases that came to light in recent months. Those who come to exploit our women, those who come to seek services, and those who come to engage in drug consumption practices are not welcome here, concluded Villa Mejía. So you heard it from him. What I'm going to take notice of is that in his breakdown, he doesn't break down how many passed due to being scoped. So, and I'm going to say, personally, I think some of these cases were due to that. They gave them too much. Whoever this young lady or men, whatever, they gave the victim too much and they passed. So where is that in the numbers? I mean, if they're saying that 13 cases still being investigated due to health problems, okay, I get that. You still, how long does it take? Because it's been 4 or 5 months so far. 6 cases from overdoses of hallucinogenic substances. Does that mean scoped? What the heck does that mean? Or does it mean that they took it on their own and they passed? And which ones are they? Man, there's so many. And I know there's a lot of theories on every story that I put out like this. There's a lot of theories in the comment sections, but we just don't know. This last one, you know, we can all have ideas, but there was literally nothing. They didn't say his wallet was open. They didn't say anything was taken. They didn't say his laptop and cell phone were gone. They didn't mention anything. But I do want to take note that they said in that story, the last story from yesterday, that in the Dan Carlton, they said that they can assure us that there was no woman that was in that room. And the only way that they can assure us, of course, is from security cameras. That's the only way. That means there's cameras on every floor. I love that hotel. I will still continue to stay there on and off. I like to move around, but that's still my choice of hotel in Medellin. It's far enough away from Parquilleras, but still walking distance, and you can get to all the other parks too. Parque Poblado, down to Sweet Georgia Cafe. All that stuff is right in there, so it's a central location, and it's normally secured too. The last time I was there, and that the protest was going on, and I walked in the middle of all the tear gas and all that good stuff. If you remember that video. Oh shit. Okay. If not, go back and check it out. But that's where I was staying, and the police actually staged there. So that's a secure hotel. That hotel's, I mean, you may see like a beautiful woman getting walked up in the elevator at midnight or something like that, but for the most part, you don't see that in that hotel. It just doesn't happen. But back to his numbers, where do all of these cases fit in? One case, an accident. Which one was that? I mean, he didn't break anything down. But before I continue on, let me let you listen to the Secretary of Security and Coexistence, Manuel Villa Mejía, right here.
In Medellin. In this regard, it is important to clarify that to date, only one of these deaths is related to an act of violence, meaning that in 2024, there has only been one homicide of a foreign citizen, which was the case of a Colombian American citizen in the context of a brawl. For this particular incident, the individuals involved have already been apprehended and are currently being prosecuted. The other deaths have occurred under different circumstances, 5 of them by and according to preliminary information, another 13 due to health problems, 6 from overdoses of hallucinogenic substances, 1 case by accident, and 3 cases that are still being investigated to determine the exact causes by legal medicine, which is the competent authority for this. In particular, regarding the death of the Chilean citizen identified as Alexandres Araya Castillo, which occurred on June 7th in the year 2023, in the city of Medellin, Colombia, initial reports from the authorities indicate that Mr. Araya Castillo, 41 years old, was found lifeless in a residence he had rented for a short stay after having met with a woman he had met through an app. At the time of his discovery, he was found naked and showed no visible signs of violence. This case remains classified as a death to be determined, and to date, while legal medicine advances in forensic tests to officially determine the real cause of death, this investigation is in the inquiry stage, led by a prosecutor from the Early Warning Group of the Attorney General's Office of Colombia. As the Mayor's Office, in collaboration with security agencies, we continue to work to address this phenomenon comprehensively. While we seek to ensure safety conditions for those who visit us, we are also fighting against the criminals and the structures behind dynamics that, to some extent, affect the integrity of our citizens and our tourists. For this reason, from the administration, we have prioritized these types of cases, and during this first semester, we managed to capture 3 people who were involved in a criminal network that allegedly dedicated itself to drugging and robbing tourists through digital platforms. Additionally, we achieved the first 20-year prison sentence against a woman who was found responsible for murdering an American citizen in a hotel in Poblado, a sector of the city of Medellin, in November of last year, 2023. Medellin is indeed a city of responsible tourism, where those who come to truly enjoy all our cultural and tourist experiences that we have to offer as a city are very welcome. But we always continue to call on those who visit us to do so responsibly. Mayor Federico Gutierrez has said it on several occasions and has been clear. Those who come to sexually exploit our women, those who come simply to seek sexual services, or those who come to engage in drug consumption practices are not welcome here.
Okay, so you heard it from him. But again, the breakdown is so loosely configured. I mean, where are the scopolamine? There's no mention to this overdose of scopolamine or something given. Is that still in the 3 cases yet to be established, or the 13 cases still being investigated? And how do they know that the 5 were self-inflicted? I mean, some, okay, 2 or 3, yeah, I give it to them. But we recognized all 30 of these cases now. Again, this story was from 3 or 4 days ago, so it was still on 29. But we recognize all of these stories because I've reported on all of these stories for the past few years. So we're aware that these cases are happening. And again, and I want to address this because I see this in the comment section also. Do we even know that we're seeing all the numbers? Again, if I read a story tomorrow that says that such and such American passed in January, and that wasn't out of the 30 that we knew about, that means they were holding that story. Why? What else does it mean? So remember, we don't get all the stories, and every time somebody scope, we surely don't. Again, I'm guessing 95% of the people don't report it to the police, don't even tell their friends. They're always left with their passport, and I think they just get on a plane, embarrassed, and leave. But I'm talking to somebody right now that's been scoped. Somebody watching this video right here has been scoped and still goes back. And I also want to point out that for everybody who says, this never happened to me, everybody that has happened to, chances are they made that statement. So let's get that part of it right there. And also I want to address another comment because I thought this was funny. You old heads going down there, you don't know how to play the game. So my response was, so does that mean the younger cats are making better decisions than the older cats? Is that the premise of that statement? I got to ask it because with age comes wisdom. And remember, I'm 60, I'm 61, almost 62. If you are 30, you got 30 more years to prove yourself to even make it this age. So you think you're playing the game, but you ain't even made it halfway through. So it's halftime. You think you're playing the game and you're only halfway through the game as far as my game. Put it that way. And for older people, you got even further to go to prove yourself that you even going to make it that way, because somebody watching this video is not going to make it. It's a numbers game. And I'm a numbers person. Somebody watching this video is not going to make it to 60. So is it you? So this is the reason that I do these videos, to keep you abreast of what's going on so you can make better decisions. And if you don't know about certain things, you can't make decisions based on those facts. So that's the reason I want to put these facts out. But for the most part, you guys know what you're doing. And again, I still say go. I'm still going to go. I'm not encouraging anybody to go or not go, but I'm going. And because I don't put myself in certain circumstances, I know that I'm relatively safe. Mitigation is the name of the game. Mitigation. Anyway, I ask myself, are these stories going to stop me from going?
No, not a chance. No, not at all. No, none of us not agrees. A chance. Nope, we're all never happen. Nope, none of us are going to say that.
That's right. So I'm still going to go, and I need to get my teeth done. So hopefully I can get down with it in the next month. I got a lot of travel for business coming. I'm taking you along with me. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
In Medellin, feeling mean, sipping cafecito, parquet hair scene, hottest vibe incognito, Comuna 13, colors bright, mural symphony, graffiti on city walls, culture rich as history. Watch dcbornrob, stay wise, streetwise TV, keeping tabs on where to roll, news on lock, believe me. Travel but travel safe, life don't hit replay, street savvy like a king, no risk we convey. Medellin nights, under city lights, roll with dcbornrob, he got the sights, cultures blend. Party never ends. Stay sharp, stay true, we got no pretend. Hustle like New York Marine, never get caught slipping. DC, born street smart, worldwide tripping. Latin beats, salsa streets, rhythm always bumping. Parquet airs, hang tight, massive crowd thumping. Travel like a Marine, ain't no fear. Mad respect for local vibes we revere. Colors bold, stories told, art pure magic. Medellin spirit so infectious, never tragic. Medellin nights, on the city lights, roll with dcbornrob, he got the sights. Cultures blend, party never ends. Stay sharp, stay true, we got no pretense. Travel like a Marine, ain't no fear.